Hello again and welcome to the PM Talk Show. This is Pat Morris, your host, and we've been doing a series on Hammond Junior High and all of the positive things that are going on at the school. If you've been viewing our show lately, we had two professionals who are lead teachers to come on who did an excellent job, Ms. Seymour and Ms. Hart Jackson. They did an excellent job, and I understand that it's still airing. But today we have a very, very special guest, a guest that knows everything about Hammond Junior High since he's been there. He knows the ins and outs of the school, and we want him to make you familiar with the positive things that are going on and how Hammond Junior High is emerging into the school of the future for the Hammond area. At this time, we want to welcome none other than Mr. Terran Perry. Welcome, Mr. Perry, to our show.
Thank you, Ms. Pattis.
We're so happy to have
Very good
you.
to be here.
We're so happy to have you, and we want you to take the microphone, take the camera, and just tell us a little bit about who Terran Perry is, what you do at Hammond Junior High, and what your vision is for the school.
Sure. Let me just say thank you for having my school and having me on this morning.
You're welcome.
In order to appreciate where Hammond Junior High is now, it's important to know where we've come from.
Right.
And I can speak on the last couple of years. It's no secret that the school pretty much bombed in terms of test performance last school year and the year before that. And after talking to the teachers and interviewing teachers and interviewing students and faculty members, especially leadership team members, we found that there was an instructional problem going on at Hammond Junior High School, and it began from the leadership team down. And this is something that happened to us when I was at Natalbian Elementary School also, so it was no surprise that this happened at Hammond Junior High School. It happened on a much larger scale at the junior high school, though. What pretty much happened there was that the teachers were, they believed that they were proficient. They were rock solid in delivering instruction to our children. And according to their evaluations, about 75% of the teachers there were considered rock solid teachers. And they were evaluated, of course, by the administrative staff. That's all fine and dandy. That's an awesome school to be in. But at the end of the day, when the test scores came back, the test scores sank through the floor. And therefore, you had a problem. So what we had to do at the beginning of the school year was we had to meet with the leadership team, and we had to say, hey, guys, what we see as being proficient, what we see as being rock solid instruction is not rock solid instruction. So we had to go by one indicator at a time on what's called a TAP instructional rubrics. And we had to raise our standards in terms of what we consider effective teaching and learning. And we did that. It took about 3 or 4 days for us to go through that entire process as a leadership team. And we raised the bar in every single standard as to what it looked like last year to the team and what we wanted it to look like this year. And when we did that, we explained to the teachers. It was a group discussion that we had. We explained to them what happened to them. And so they were very, very receptive. They were understanding of that. And what took place in that case was that the teachers simply trusted our judgment, and we explained to them that, look, guys, your evaluation scores may not be as high in the beginning because where you are is what you can trust is where you are is where you are. And they accepted that, and from then on, they trusted our guidance and our leadership, and they began to grow. And as they grew, the students grew. And the students grew pretty significantly, to say the least.
So when you say significantly, somebody might not understand what you're talking about. So can you further elaborate on that?
Yes, ma'am. And of course, I'm excited about this, and so are the teachers. They're excited. Not just the teachers, the students themselves are very excited. As everyone knows, we just took the phase 1 part of the LEAP test. Our 8th graders took the writing portion, and I think 4th graders across the state took the writing portion of the LEAP test. And our kids literally left the building, giving our teachers thumbs up, thanking them for basically teaching them,
Okay.
for basically preparing them for this test. And they felt very confident leaving out of the building. So the teachers, in turn, they were very, very appreciative of where the school has come from.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear, because a lot of times, and as you know, as a administrator, as a principal, we're pretty much at the bottom as far as school performance scores go. We're very happy that that's turning around at Hammond Junior High, and the caliber of teachers that you have. And it's not to say that there are not other good teachers throughout Tangipahoa Hill Parish, but right now our focus is with Hammond Junior High, and we want to see that turned around, and we're beginning to see parental involvement coming into schools. How is that increasing?
Sure. This is what I told the teachers at the beginning of the school year. I said, guys, if we want our parents to be involved in this school, we know the reputation of the school is no secret. We have to first perform. We have to take the first steps. We have to educate their children. We have to exhibit tough love. We have to do the things that they expect us to do as a school. And when we start performing, the parents are going to show their appreciation by supporting the school more, and that's exactly what we've seen. We have parents, anything that we ask them for, they're there, and we're very excited about that.
Okay, and that makes for a better student as well when they know their parents are coming by to see them. When you look at the overall gamut of what's happening at Hammond Junior High, we visited the Heidi Board meeting, and what's your take on that meeting?
Well, my impression of the meeting is that everybody, the business community, they're pretty much in support of the school. They want to see the school thrive. And I was very, very excited about that. I was very excited to tell them and show them that the school is pretty much going to be successful. The school is successful. It's pretty much going to be one of the most effective schools. If and quote me on that. That can be documented as a quote. It will be one of the most effective schools in the parish, and that's evident at this point. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we're behind you on and pushing to see. Because what I would like to see as a civic leader is your school become that school that other school systems, other schools throughout the parish would want to emulate and come to you and say, well, how did you do this? Or how did you do that? And you'll see, you will continue to see increased parental involvement, increased community involvement, because that entire village is going to come together for that one child. When we look at are leaving the Heidi Board and then going to your school, I was amazed because I walked up to the mayor of Hammond and I said, what you think now? He said, I'm very impressed. I think everybody who came was very impressed, and they wanted to roll up their sleeves. How can I help with your school? But when you look at those types of things happening, when they take out business people take out from their busy schedules to come and see for themselves what's happening, that's a testament to you as a principal first, because positive things roll down to the other people who will receive them, and as you said, it'll ultimately roll down to the kids and they will take pride. So that being said, I'd like for you to talk a little bit about your visit with the mayor of Hammond and the administrative assistant. I want to say Mr. Pete Pinto.
Yes.
And Mr. I'm trying to think of the other, Joe Meir. Yes. How did that go? And Reverend Carter, how did that go?
It was great, to say the least. The mayor was impressed. I could see it in his face as soon as he walked in the building. He was impressed with the very first thing, the school was clean. And that's one thing I explained to the team in the beginning of the year, that, look guys, we want these kids to perform for us. We have to do the things that it takes to show them that we appreciate them. We want to, first of all, have our kids in a clean building. And so that was the first thing the mayor, he actually told me. He said that, you know, building this wing, the office staff, they were very professional. The teachers were very receptive. The kids were very receptive. I can see it all over his face that he was very, very, very impressed with Hammond Junior High Magnet School. And that's the thing about the junior high school is that it's a school that suffered for so long from a negative perception. And what we have to do is invite people to come in and see for themselves. And parents have been doing that just the same as the mayor. They've been coming in and actually seeing this for themselves. And they are overwhelmed and overjoyed with excitement. We had 3 parents who came in from, I think, the Champ Cooper area who registered their children like the very next week because of what's happening at the school. So the mayor got a taste of that, and they were very excited about the visit. And
that's good. And we all know that businesses follow good schools. They relocate to areas where the schools are what they should be, because the bottom line is it doesn't matter if it's black or white. People simply want what's best for their child, educationally speaking, and this is what we're pushing to have. How you said the kids were receptive. I didn't get an opportunity to go in the classrooms when you all were touring, but were the kids inquisitive? Did they ask questions of the administration?
They did. They were, our kids at this point, they're very, very confident. They're confident, they know that they're learning. And so meeting the mayor, they had questions. I can recall one kid asking, is the job difficult, basically? And of course, Mayor Foster, he has a sense of humor. He said that he's always wanted to be mayor, and he began to tell little stories, and the kids, they began to ask questions about the story. There were about at least 20 questions that were probably asked throughout the mayor's visit. So. Our kids, they were interested. They were excited that the mayor came to visit them. They were making the connection to say, okay, well, look, I may be a future mayor. This may be something that I may be interested in doing. Our kids are making those kinds of connections now, and I'm very excited about that. Right,
and that's really good. You never know the impact that you're going to have in the lives of the kids. So by this medium, thank you, Mayor Foster. Thank you, Mr. Pinapinto, Mr. Meir, and Reverend Tamarlin Carter for taking time to go by and say hello, just hello to the kids at Hammond Junior High and talk to them, because it meant much. We're getting ready to go for break now, and when we come back at the second half, we're going to get into a little bit more of the details of enrollments and the number of teachers you have, et cetera, et cetera. We'll be right back.
Fishing. It's about hope and preparation. It's a hook and a line. It's a bait or a favorite lure. It's a pier or a boat, in a bay or the great wide ocean. It's taking a few home for dinner and returning a couple for tomorrow. It's where good stories come from. It's all those things and a whole lot more. For Coastal Conservation Association, fishing is about enjoying today and making sure tomorrow is even better. Since 1977, CCA has worked hard to improve our nation's fisheries. Run by anglers, CCA understands the privilege of fishing and the responsibility anglers share for the resources we all enjoy so much. If this is what fishing means to you, then you belong with CCA.